High in the Arctic tundra, the winds howled through an endless expanse of snow and ice. Amid this desolation, a lone reindeer staggered through the frozen landscape. Its legs trembled with every step, and its once proud antlers were now overshadowed by a grim reality. Barnacles, clinging like stubborn parasites, weighed it down. The creature's breath came in labored bursts, visible in the frigid air. Its dark eyes, clouded with exhaustion, hinted at a story of pain and struggle. The tundra was unforgiving, a place where survival demanded strength and resilience. Yet, this reindeer was losing its battle. It was more than just the barnacles. Parasites had taken hold, sapping its strength from within. The combination was a cruel assault, leaving the animal vulnerable in a habitat where only the strong thrived. A group of wildlife experts patrolling the area for research first spotted the reindeer. From their vantage point on a distant ridge, they noticed its uneven gait and the strange shapes clinging to its body. At first, they mistook the growths for snow or ice. But as they drew closer, the true nature of its suffering became heartbreakingly clear. "This isn't just injury, it's a fight for survival," one of them murmured, binoculars in hand. The group quickly realized they had no time to waste. The barnacles, an unusual phenomenon in terrestrial animals, were likely remnants of time spent in brackish waters, where the reindeer had unknowingly picked up its unwanted hitchhikers. Combined with the parasites, it was a double assault on the animal's already fragile condition. The team faced an immediate challenge, approaching the reindeer without causing it further stress. Wild animals, especially prey species like reindeer, are instinctively wary of humans. The creature was already weak, and any sudden movement could push it further into panic, risking injury or even collapse. Despite its deteriorated state, it retained enough instinct to view the approaching humans as a potential threat. As they inched closer, the team observed the full extent of its plight. The barnacles were clustered around its legs, where they had latched on tightly, restricting movement and causing painful sores. Parasites had burrowed into its fur, leaving visible bald patches and inflamed skin. The reindeer's thin frame spoke of a long struggle with declining health. The rescuers exchanged glances, each silently asking the same question: was it already too late? But giving up wasn't an option. They had prepared for emergencies like this, though they rarely encountered something so severe. The team quickly strategized how to help without overwhelming the animal. One member retrieved a dart loaded with a mild sedative, carefully calculating the dosage to ensure it would only calm the reindeer, not endanger it. The first attempt failed. The reindeer, sensing the team's intentions, stumbled away, its legs dragging through the snow with visible effort. Every movement seemed like agony. But the rescuers stayed patient, circling back to give the creature space. They adjusted their approach, moving slower, quieter, and with more precision. Finally, the dart found its mark. The reindeer froze momentarily, its muscles tensing before it began to calm. Its breaths remained heavy, but its panic faded, replaced by a quiet stillness. The rescuers knew this was their chance. With care and efficiency, they moved in, their tools and training ready for the difficult task ahead. As they examined the animal up close, the barnacle's grip on its legs became even more apparent. The tough, shell-like growths had dug into the skin, causing open wounds. Parasites scurried beneath the fur, thriving in the reindeer's weakened state. The team members worked quickly, their hands steady despite the freezing temperatures. Each barnacle was carefully removed, a painstaking process that required precision and patience. The wounds beneath were cleaned and treated, though some were alarmingly deep. The rescuers also applied medication to combat the parasites, hoping to give the animal a fighting chance against the infestation that had drained so much of its energy. The reindeer remained still, its body surrendering to the team's efforts. But as they worked, the weight of the moment hung heavily in the air. This was a creature on the brink, caught between life and death. It would take more than just physical treatment. It would take resilience, both from the animal and the humans determined to save it. The sun began to dip toward the horizon, casting long shadows over the snow. Time was running out. The rescuers knew they had done everything they could for the moment, but the question lingered: had they reached the reindeer in time? The team worked tirelessly, their hands numb from the cold but driven by determination. Each barnacle was pried off carefully, revealing raw, inflamed skin beneath. The damage was worse than they had feared. Deep sores had formed where the barnacles had latched on, leaving the reindeer vulnerable to infection. The team disinfected the wounds, applying a soothing ointment to ease the animal's pain. Every movement was deliberate. There was no room for error in conditions this severe. The reindeer remained motionless under the influence of the sedative, its breathing shallow but steady. This gave the team the opportunity to address the next challenge, the parasites. Tiny but relentless, they had spread across the reindeer's body, leaving patches of irritated skin. Using specialized sprays and combs, the rescuers began the meticulous process of removing them. It was slow, painstaking work, but every parasite removed was a step closer to the reindeer's recovery. As they worked, the weather took a turn for the worse. The wind picked up, carrying with it flurries of snow that threatened to obscure their vision. One team member kept watch on the horizon, scanning for signs of worsening conditions. Despite the challenges, the group pressed on, knowing they were racing against time. The reindeer couldn't be left in this vulnerable state for long, not in this harsh environment where predators and the elements posed constant threats. The first sign of hope came when the team noticed the reindeer's breathing becoming more rhythmic. Its body, though weak, seemed to respond positively to their care. Encouraged, they redoubled their efforts, focusing on ensuring the animal would be as comfortable and healthy as possible before the sedative wore off. With the barnacles removed and the parasites under control, the team turned their attention to hydration and nourishment. They carefully administered a nutrient-rich solution designed to provide the energy the reindeer so desperately needed. Its gaunt frame and sunken eyes were a testament to prolonged starvation, and this boost of sustenance was vital for its recovery. The final phase of their intervention was perhaps the most critical, ensuring the reindeer could stand and move once it regained consciousness. They wrapped its legs with protective bandages to prevent further irritation and infection and gently repositioned it to ensure its weight was evenly distributed. Every decision was calculated, every action precise, as they prepared for the moment the animal would wake. As the sedative began to wear off, the reindeer stirred slightly, its ears twitching and its eyes fluttering open. The team stepped back, giving it space while remaining watchful. The animal hesitated, its body still heavy with exhaustion. For a moment, it seemed unsure, as if testing whether it could trust its own strength. Then, with a trembling effort, it pushed itself up onto its legs. The bandages held firm, and though its movements were unsteady, it managed to stand. The team watched in silence, a mixture of relief and awe washing over them. The reindeer took a cautious step, then another, its gait still tentative but far more stable than before. The rescue had been a success, but the journey was not over. The team knew the reindeer would need time to fully recover. Yet, seeing it stand against the backdrop of the snowy wilderness was a powerful reminder of the resilience of life. They had given it a chance, a fighting chance to reclaim its place in the wild. Before releasing the reindeer, the team fitted it with a lightweight tracking collar. This would allow them to monitor its progress and ensure it continued to recover in the coming weeks. They watched as the animal moved farther into the tundra, its silhouette growing smaller against the vast, white expanse. The moment was bittersweet. The team felt a sense of accomplishment, knowing they had intervened at just the right time. But they were also acutely aware of the challenges that remained. The Arctic was an unforgiving place, and survival required constant strength. Still, they couldn't help but feel hopeful as the reindeer disappeared from view, its antlers no longer burdened, its body free from parasites. The story of this rescue was a testament to the power of compassion and determination. The reindeer had been on the brink of death, its body battered by forces beyond its control. Yet, through the efforts of a dedicated team, it had been given a second chance. It was a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and wildlife, and the importance of stepping in when nature needs a helping hand. As the team packed up their equipment and prepared to leave, they reflected on the significance of their work. This one reindeer story was a small but powerful example of the difference that could be made with care and effort. It was a triumph of resilience, both for the animal and the humans who refused to give up on it.